Hello guys, in this video we will cover the relations and ordering, that is the partitions and covering of a set, compatibility relations and the composition of binary relations in set theory. I am Professor H.D. Padia from SHGMC Shegao. In our previous video we have covered the set theory, inclusion of the set equality, types of the set, operations on the set, Venn diagrams, set identifiers and Cartesian products. Now in this video we will learn about the composition and compatibility relations. The first point is the partitions and covering of a set. If we have any set capital S and the capital A is a set of elements A1, A2, A3 up to the AM, where each AI is equals to, for the I is equals to 1, 2, 3, 4 up to the M, is a subset of a set S. Just like the AI union, where I varies from 1 to M is equals to S. That is, when I is equals to 1, 2, 3, 4 up to the M, that is A1 union A2, union A3, union A4, union A5, union A6 up to the union AM, it is equals to the set S. Then the set capital A is called a covering of S and the sets A1, A2, A3 up to the AM are said to be the covers S. If the elements of A, which are subsets of S, are mutually disjoint, then the set capital A is called a partition of S and the sets A1, A2, A3 up to the AM are called the blocks of the partition. We have the example that we have one set capital S. It is a set of three elements A, B, C, and consider the following collections of the subsets of S. If we look to the first, that is capital A, it is a set of two subsets, that is A, B and B, C. Now, if we perform the set A, B union set B, C, then these two subsets are not mutually disjoint. Disjoint means the intersection must be equals to phi. But here in these two, the element B is common. That's why these two subsets are not mutually disjoint. And if these two subsets are not mutually disjoint, then we call that it is the covering of S. We have to clear that is it covering all the elements of the S? Then in the S we have the three elements, that A, B, C, and when we perform the union of these two subsets A, B and B, C, then it will a set of elements A, B, C, that is equals to the capital S. That's why this set A, it is covering of S. If look to the second example, that is set capital B. Now it is a set of two subsets A, AC, A, C. If we perform the union of these two subsets, then it will a set of A, C only. B is missing. That's why this B, it is not equals to the capital S. And if this B is not equals to the capital S, then it is not covering and obviously it is not partition also. The C, now in the set C, there are the two subsets. First is a subset of element A and second is a subset of element B, C. Now when we perform the union of this subset A and subset B, C, then it will the set of three elements A, B, C, and that is equals to S. That's why it is a covering of S. But what's about the partition? If we look, the first subset capital A, this small a, and the second subset B, C, these are mutually disjoint. That's why it is a block of partitions. The set C is partition of set S. And this subset A and the subset B, C, these two are the blocks of partitions. Moving to the next example, the set capital D, it is a set of only one subset, that is A, B, C. Now this A, B, C, it is only the one subset, that's why we cannot perform the union. But if we look to the capital D, then it is equals to the capital S. That's why we can say that set capital D is a covering of set capital S. And we cannot perform the union, same we cannot perform the intersection. That's why we cannot say that it is a disjoint or joint. That's why we can consider that it is a disjoint, and we can say that the set D is a partition of S with a one block of partition, that is the set A, B, C. The next example is capital E. Now it is a set of three subsets. First is element A, second is element B, and next is element C. If we perform the union of the subset A, subset B, and subset C, then it will a set of A, B, C, and that is equals to S. That's why we can say that capital E is a covering of S. Okay. Now what's about the partition? If we look to the subset A, second subset B, third subset for element C, then these two are mutually disjoint. There is no any common element. That's why we can say set capital E is partition of set capital S with three blocks of partitions. The next set capital F, it is a set of three subsets. First is element A, second is element A, B, and third is A, C. If we perform the union of these three subsets, then it will a set of A, B, C, that is equals to the set S. That's why we can say that capital F, it is a covering of set S. What next? If we perform this disjoint, that is the intersection, then we can clear that the subset with element A, that is the first subset, in the second subset again there is an element A, and in the third subset also there is an element A. That's why these three subsets are not mutually disjoint. These are joint subsets. That's why these are not the partitions, or these are not the blocks of partitions. It is only the covering of S. In this sixth example, the set A and set B, set A and set F, which are in the red color, are the covering of S, because these are not mutually disjoint. Set B, which is in black color, it is not covering and not partition, because it is not having all the elements of the S. And the set C, set D, and set E, which are in the green color, these three are the example for the partitions of S. In the set C, there are the two blocks of partition. In the set D, there is only one block of the partition. And in the set E, there are three sets of the partitions. These three blocks of the partitions. The set A and the set F covering of S, while the set C, D, and E are the partitions of S, and the set B is neither a partition nor a covering of S. The partition T has only one block, and the set capital E has the three blocks in the given set capital S. We cannot have more than three blocks in any partition, because there are the three elements. If we have any set S for the 5 elements, then there may be the maximum 5 blocks. If we have any set with the 10 elements, then there may be the maximum blocks 10. Now, we discussed some partitions of the universal set capital E, which are generated by the subset of the universal set E. Let us first consider a subset of A of the universal set E. The subsets A and the negation of A generates a partition of E as. If we look to the screen, then in the universal set, if we have the set any subset capital A, then other than this set A, the remaining portion of the universal set we can define as the negation of A. The second topic is here, that is the compatibility relations. This compatibility relation is denoted by this symbol. The relation R in a set X is said to be a compatibility relation if it is reflexive and symmetric. All the equivalence relations are the compatibility relations. We have already covered in our previous videos the meaning of reflexive and symmetric. If every node has the relation with itself, then we call it is reflexive, and if X has a relation with Y and Y also has a relation with X, then we called this relation is symmetric. Let's have the example. Let we have the set X with the 5 English words, that is ball, bed, dog, let and egg, and let the relation R is given by, what is the relation? That relation R, it is a set of ordered pairs X comma Y such that the X comma Y belongs to the set X and the X has a relation R to Y if X and Y contain some common letters. Therefore, the R is compatibility relation and X comma Y are called the compatible if the X has a relation R to Y. A compatibility relation is not something denoted by or is sometimes denoted by this symbol. Since what the relation is given between these words, that is some characters are common, the some letters are common. If we observe these two words, that ball and bed, then B is common, the bed and egg, that is E is common. But if we find out the mutual relation, that ball has a relation with bed and bed has a relation with egg, then it is not compulsory that this ball has a relation with egg, because if we observe these two, then in the ball and egg there is no any common term. Thus this compatibility relation is not transitive. Let denote the ball by x1, the second word bed by the x2, the dog by the x3, then let by the x4 and the last word egg by the x5. If we perform the relations between these 5 words, then your graph will look like this. We have these 5 words, the x1, x2, x3, x4 and x5. Obviously all these 5 words have the similar letters with itself. That's why all these x1, x2, x3, x4 and x5 are having the loop with itself. Again, if x1 has some common letter with the x2, then obviously x2 also has some common letter with x1. If x1 has some common letter with x4, then x4 also has a common letters with x1. That's why we have the graph like that. But now in the compatibility relations, if we are saying that this graph is reflexive and this graph is symmetric, then to avoid the complexity of the graph, we can simplify this graph like this. Now here we have directly the 5 nodes, that is x1, x2, x3, x4 and x5. Now we are not showing the loop because it is reflexive, and if it is reflexive means we have to consider that every node has a relation with itself. Again, without any arrow, we are connecting these two nodes just with a line, that is x1 has a relation with x2 and x2 also has a relation with x1. If there is no any arrow, then we have to consider that x1 has a relation with x2 and x2 also has a relation with x1. The x2 has a relation with x5 and x5 also has a relation with x2. That is the simplified graph. As compatibility relation, then it is not necessary to draw the loops at each element, and it is also not necessary to draw that x has a relation with y and y has a relation with x. Thus, we can simplify the graph as shown in the figure B. Now, the relation matrix for a compatibility relation is symmetric and has its diagonal elements unity. Because it is reflexive, that's why in the relation matrix, the 1 1 its value will 1, the position 2 2 its value will 1, 3 3 value will 1, 4 4 its value will 1, 5 5 it will 1. That's why the diagonal elements is unity. It is therefore sufficient to give only the elements of the lower triangular or the upper triangular, the lower triangular part of the relation matrix in such a case, if it is compatible. For the compatibility relation, we have been discussing the relation matrix can be obtained. Now for this graph, this is the standard matrix where we have shown that 1 has a relation with 1, 1 has a relation with 2 and 1 has a relation with 4. 2 has a relation with 1, 2 has a relation with 2, with 3, with 4, with 5. Then for the element 3, for the element 4 and for the element 5. But if we look to this, then it is the reflexive, that's why obviously diagonal elements are 1. Now in our simplified graph, we can avoid to write down these diagonal elements. If it is reflexive, then we have to consider that all the diagonal elements are 1. Now, if we look, then the value at the position 1, 2 and 2, 1. It is same, because if 1 has a relation with 2, then 2 also has a relation with 1, because this graph is symmetric. Then the value at the position 1, 3 and 3, 1. These are same, because if 1 has a relation with 3, then 3 also has a relation with 1. Now if we look to this, then the value at the position 1, 4 and 4, 1, it is same. Value at the position this 2, 3 and 3, 2, it is same, 1 1. If we move further, then value at the position 1, 5 and the 5, 1, 0, both are same. Same for that, the value at the position 2, 5 and the 5, 2, both are same. If we fold this matrix at these diagonal elements, then you can observe that it is a mirror image. That's why now for the compatibility relation, the matrix can be designed only for the lower triangular or for the upper triangular. No need to repeat all these things. If we have these lower triangular values and we are saying that it is a compatible relation, means it is reflexive, that's why we have to consider that all these diagonal elements are 1, and it is symmetric, that's why if this position is 1, that is 2, 1, then obviously 1, 2 is also 1. If 3, 1 is 0, then 1, 3 is also 0. If 1, 4 is 1, then this 4, 1 is 1, then obviously 1, 4 will also 1. If this 5, 1 is 0, then obviously 1, 5 it will also 0, this value. That's why now in compatibility relation matrix will not repeat the triangular matrix, the triangular values, and will not write down the diagonal elements. That is our now consideration part. Now let X is a set and this symbol, that is a compatibility relation on the X. A subset A, that is A is a subset of X, is called a maximal compatibility block if any element of A is compatible to every other element of A. There are the two conditions. I am repeating that any element of A is a subset of X, then any element of A is compatible. Any element of A is compatible to every other element of A, and no element of the X dash A, that is the relative complements of A in X, that is the elements of X but not A, means the elements other than A is compatible to all the elements of A. No elements of X dash A is compatible to all the elements of A. Let's have the example. Suppose we have this graph same as the previous. Now in that, how to find out the compatibility blocks? See, the first we have to find out the maximal, that is the compatibility block with the maximum elements. Now here the rectangle, it is not possible, there is no any hexagon or pentagon. Then what is we observed that we have the one triangle, that is 1 2 4, that is in the red color. The triangle, that is the block of the 1 2 4. Now if we observe this 1 2 4, then in this 1 2 4 all the elements are compatible with each other. The 1 is compatible with the 2 and 1 is compatible with the 4. 2 is compatible with the 1, 2 is compatible with the 4, and 4 also compatible with the 1 and 2. Means all the elements are compatible with each other. What is the second condition? Second condition is no elements of X dash A. Now if we consider this is A, that is 1 2 4, then what will the X dash A, that is the relative complements of A in X, these are the 3 and 5. Then this X dash A elements must not be compatible to all the elements of A. If we look, this 3 is compatible with the 2, but it is not compatible with the 1 and 4. This 5 is compatible with the 2 and 5 is compatible with the 4, but 5 is not compatible with the 1. That is, no element of the X dash A is compatible to all the elements of A. That's why the first block here is the set of x1, x2, x4. That is 1 2 4. Now, the second maximum compatibility block we can observe with these blue lines, that is the 2, 3 and 5. It is also the one triangle. 2, 3, 5. 2 is compatible with the 3 and 5. 3 is compatible with the 2 and 5. And 5 is also compatible with the 2 and 3. Means these 3 elements are compatible with each other. Second condition is other than these 3 elements must not be compatible with all these 3 elements. Then which are other than these 3 elements here? Then element 1 and element 4. Now the element 1 is compatible with the 2, but it is not compatible with the 3 and 5. Right? This element 4, it is compatible with the 2, it is compatible with the 5, but it is not compatible with the 3. That's why the second maximal compatibility block is the set of x2, x3, x5. And the next, again we can observe the triangle of the x2, that is 2 4 5. 2 4 5, that is the mix of the red and blue lines. 2 4 5. Now again it is triangle, that's why all the elements are compatible with each other. Right? Now which are the elements other than this 2 4 5? Then it is 1 and 3. 1 is compatible with the 2, 1 is compatible with the 4, but 1 is not compatible with the 5. Means 1 is not compatible with all the elements of this block. Now next is the element 3. 3 is compatible with the 2, 3 is compatible with the 5, but 3 is not compatible with the 4. Means 3 is also not compatible with all the elements of this block. That's why here the third maximal compatibility block is a set of x2, x4, x5. To find the maximal compatibility block, corresponding to a compatibility relation on a set X. First, we draw a simplified graph of the compatibility relation and pick from this graph the largest complete polygons. The maximal word is there. That's why we have to consider first the polygon with the maximal relations, the maximum elements. By the largest complete polygon, we means a polygon in which the vertex is connected to every other vertex. For example, a triangle is always a complete polygon, but for a quadrilateral to be complete polygon, we must have the two diagonal presents. If we have any rectangle, then in this rectangle there must be the diagonal relations, or there must be the relations between the diagonal elements. Let's see the example 1, that the maximal compatibility matrix of the given relation is as follows. The graph is given with the 5 elements and we have to find out the maximal compatibility matrix and the maximum compatibility blocks. Now here we'll avoid to write down the diagonal elements. That's why in this rows we'll directly start from the 2, 3, 4, 5, because diagonal elements it is unity, obviously, because it is reflexive, and we'll write down only for the column 1, 2, 3, 4, because 5 is for the diagonal element and we are avoiding to write down these diagonal elements. Now 2 has a relation with 1, no, that's why it is 0. Then 3 has a relation with 1, it is 1. 4 has a relation with 1, then 1. 5 not having the relation with 1, that's why it is 0. Then for the 2 is not having the relation with 2 has a relation with 3, that's why it is 1. No relation with 4, that's why 0. And relation with 5, that's why 1. Then for the 3 has a relation with 4, that's why it is 0. No relation with 5, that's why it is 0. And 4 has a relation with 5, that's why it is 1. We'll avoid to write down the 4, 4, the value for the 3, 3, value for the 2, 2, because we know these values are 1. Now here, how to find out the maximal compatibility block? Now, for the 1 has a relation with 3 and 1 has a relation with 4. We have to observe this, that 1 has a relation with 3 and 1 has a relation with 4. And if we look to this graph, then there is a complete polygon for the values 1, 3 and 4. 1, 3 and 4. That's why here the first maximal compatibility block is the 1, 2, this 1, 3, 4. Now for the second block, if we observe the value 2, then 2 has a relation with 3 and 2 has a relation with 5. But if we observe the graph, then 2, 3, but there is no relation between the 3 and 5. This 2 has a relation with 3 and 2 has a relation with 5. But there is no relation between the 3 and 5. And it must be a complete polygon. That's why we cannot consider the block of the 2, 3, 5. But the line is also a polygon, that's why we can consider the 2, 3, that is 1, and 2, 5, that is next. Now for the 3 has a relation with 4 only, then this line we can consider. But this line is already we have covered in the first compatibility block, that is 1, 3, 4. And if it is repeated, then we have to avoid this. The next is the 4, 5. Now we have to consider this line as a maximal compatibility block, that is 4, 5. If we look, the first is a block of 1, 3, 4, that is a triangle. Second is a line, that is 2, 3. Next is a one line, that is 2, 5. Next was the line 3, 4, but it is already completed, that's why we have avoided. And the next is the line that is 4, 5. Now, the second example is here that the maximum compatibility matrix of the given relation is as follows. That graph is given. Now again I repeat that it is reflexive, that's why obviously all the diagonal elements are 1. It is unity. That's why we are avoiding to write down the diagonal elements. We are writing here only the lower triangular matrix that will start from the row 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and columns for the values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. According to these relations, we have put at all these values. If there is a relation between the two elements, then it is 1. If there is no relation between these two elements, then it is 0. Now, how to find out the maximum compatibility block? First we will observe for the 1, then 1 has a relation with 2, 3 and 4. Now if we observe in the graph that 1, 2, 3 and 4, then it is a rectangle, that is 1, 2, 3, 4. And if we observe, then diagonal relations are also present, that 1 has a relation with 3 and 2 has a relation with 4. That's why the first maximal compatibility block is a block of 4 elements, that is 1, 2, 3, 4. For the second, the 2 has a relation with 3, 4 and 5. That is 2 has a relation with 3, 4 and 5. Now it is also a rectangle, but there is a one problem. 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now here this 2 and 4, this diagonal relation is present, but there is no diagonal relation between the 3 and 5. The 3 is not having the relation with 5. That's why it is not maximal compatibility block. Our first condition is that all the elements of the block must have the relation with each other. Now if we consider the block of 2, 3, 4, 5, then 3 and 5 is not having relation. That's why we cannot consider the block 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, what we can consider then? We can consider this line 2, 3, 4. That is one triangle. 2, 3, 4. And then we can consider the next, that is 2, 4, 5. These two separate triangles. Now in that, every element is compatible. Every element has a relation with all other elements of the polygon. 2, 3, 4, that is one block, and next block is 2, 4, 5. For the 3 has a relation with 4 and 3 has a relation with 6. That is, this 3 has a relation with 4 and 3 has a relation with 6. Again, it is not complete polygon, this 3 to 4 and 3 to 6. But there is no relation between the 4 to 6. That's why it is also not a compatibility block. We can consider this line as a separate polygon, that is 3, 4, but it is already covered. Then we can consider the line 3, 6. For the 4, it is not having the relation with any. For the 5, it has a relation with 6. Then we can consider this line as a polygon, that is 5, 6. If we observe, then the first maximum compatibility block is a rectangle 1, 2, 3, 4. In that, 1 has a relation with 3 and 2 has a relation with 4. The second block is only the 2, 5. We can consider this triangle 2, 3, 4 and 2, 4, 5. But in that, the 2, 3 and 3, 4, these lines are already covered. That's why simply we have considered the block, that is 2, 5. The next is this line, that is 3, 6, 3, 6, and next is a line that is 5, 6. This 2, 4 is already covered. 2, 3 is already covered. 3, 4 is already covered. Right? That's why these lines are not covered here. We have considered the second compatibility block, that is only the line 2, 5. Next, the third example. Now again we have the graph with the 6 elements. For the relations, we'll write down the 1 in the matrix. If there is no relation, we'll write down the 0 in the matrix. Now, we'll directly observe the compatibility block. The first one has a relation with 2, 3, 6. That is, one has a relation with 2, 3 and 6. It is a one polygon. No doubt, it is a one polygon. But again there is a one problem, that this 2 is not having the relation with 6. That's why we cannot consider this rectangle as a compatibility block, that is 1, 2, 3, 6. Then how we can consider? We can consider the one triangle, that is 1, 2, 3. It is one triangle, and the second block as a triangle, that is 1, 3, 6. Next is the 2 has a relation with 3. Then 2, 3, it is already covered in the first compatibility block. That's why we'll avoid this. The next is 3 has a relation with 5 and 6. That is, 3 has a relation with is 5, 6, and it is one complete polygon. That's why your third compatibility block will the 3, 5, 6. Next, 4 is not having the relation with any node. And next 5, it has a relation with 6. But this line is also covered in our third compatibility block, that is 3, 5, 6. That's why we'll avoid to repeat this. Here we have the one node, that is 4. It is not having any relation. That's why we have to consider this 4 as a separate compatibility block. Therefore here we have the 4 compatibility blocks. The first is a block of 1, 2, 3, that is this triangle. The second is the triangle 1, 3, 6. The next is a triangle, that is 3, 5, 6. And the fourth compatibility block is with only one value, that is 4. Now, the next topic is to find out the composition of the binary relations. Let R is a relation from the X to Y and S is a relation from the Y to Z. Then a relation written as that R composition S is called a composite relation of R and S. This operation is called composition, and this relation with composition operation is called a composite relation. Now, symbolically, that R composition S, it is a set of ordered pairs X, Z, where X belongs to the set X and Z belongs to the set Z. And for some Y, the element Y belongs to the set capital Y, and the ordered pair X, Y belongs to the relation R, and the ordered pair Y, Z belongs to the relation S. Means just like the mutual friends, we can find out the compositions here. The operation of obtaining the R composition S from R and S is called the composition of relations, or it is also called as the composite relation. From the graph of R and S, we can easily construct the graph of R composition S as shown in the following figure. Now here we have the two sets X and Y with a relation R, and we have the two sets Y and Z with a relation S. Then we can find out the composition between the two relations, that is the R composition S, it will between the set X and Z. The set X, Y and Y, Z. That's why directly we can perform the composition between the set X to Z with a relation composition of R and S, that is R composition S. Now let's have the problem statements. That we have the set R with the three elements, that is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 2, 2, and S is a set of 4 ordered pairs, that is 4, 2, 2, 5, 3, 1 and 1, 3. Now the R composition S How we have find out this? That 1 comma 2 is there in the R. Then in the S we require the ordered pair which will start from the 2. Then it is, that is 2 comma 5. Means 1 comma 2 and 2 comma 5. That is XY and YZ. Then we have to consider the XZ. That is 1 comma 5. The next is the 3 comma 4 and here is a 4 comma 2. That is 3 comma 4 and 4 comma 2. That's why we have written the 3 comma 2. Next is the 2 comma 2. Then 2 comma 2 and 2 comma 5. That's why we have written the 2 comma 5. That is X and Z. Again we can find out the composition of S with R. Now here the 4 comma 2. Then 2 comma 2 is there. That's why it is a 4 comma 2. 2 comma 5, there is no any term with the starting 5. That's why we cannot find the composition. For the next 3 comma 1 and 1 comma 2, that's why it is the 3 comma 2. And for the last term, that is 1 comma 3 and 3 comma 4. Then 1 comma 3 and 3 comma 4. That's why we have written the 1 comma 4. The next R composition S, this is the first composition R, means the R composition S composition R, the composition between these two terms. Now if we look the 1 comma 5, but there is no starting from the 5, we cannot find the composition. 3 comma 2 and 2 comma 2, that's why the 3 comma 2 and 2 comma 2 X Y Y Z, then we have written the 3 comma 2. And for the next 2 comma 5, again there is no any starting from the 5. That's why we cannot find the composition. Therefore the R composition S bracket composition R, it has only one ordered pair. The next is the R composition, the second, that is S composition R. If we look to the R composition, this second, then there will only again the one ordered pair, that is 3 comma 2. The next is the R composition R, that is 1 comma 2 and 2 comma 2. That's why it will the 1 comma 2 first, and second the 2 comma 2, and for second R again we have to consider the 2 comma 2. That's why it will the 2 comma 2. For the S composition S, the first is 4 comma 2. And from second S we have to consider the 2 comma 5. That's why first ordered pair is 4 comma 5. Next is 2 comma 5, but there is no any starting element 5. That's why we cannot find the composition. Next is 3 comma 1, and for second S we have to consider the 1 comma 3. That's why 3 comma 1 and 1 comma 3. Then it is 3 comma 3. And for this last, that is 1 comma 3 and 3 comma 1. That will the 1 comma 1. Now again we can find out the R composition R. We have already find out the R composition R. We can find out its composition with again R. Then we'll get this result. That is the set of ordered pairs 1 comma 2 and 2 comma 2. The next is that let R and S are two relations on the set of positive integers. Then if R is given, now it is given in the expression terms, the x terms, that is the ordered pair x comma 2x, and the S is given, that is x comma 7x. Now what will the R composition S? Then R is x comma 2x, and if it is 2x, then it will the 14x, because its last term it must be same as its first term, that is x comma y and y comma z. If it is x comma 2, and if we consider this x as a 2, then this z will 14x. That's why the R composition S is a set of x comma 14x. The next, the S composition R, the S is the x comma 7x, and if we consider this R, this x as a 7x, then it will the 14x. Then again S composition R is the x comma 14x. Now the R composition R, that is x comma 2x. But for the second R, if we consider the first element as a 2x, then it's z, it will the 4x. That's why it is x comma 4x. Next, the R composition R. We already find out the R composition R, that is x comma 4x. Now if R is x comma 2x, and if we make this x as a 2x, then this 4x it will the 8x. That's why the R composition R, it is the x comma 8x. The next is the R composition in bracket S composition R. What is the S composition R? Then it is x comma 14x. Now what is R? R is the x comma 2x. If we make this S composition R, this starting element 2x, then it's z, that is last element, it will the 28x. That's why it is the x comma 28x.